I want to address an issue that has become something that most Nigerians, especially Africans, they come online and they use their own hands to destroy us. One of the major problems we have in Africa, traditional religion, and the society, the African society, is that we don't know how to protect our dignity. We don't know how to protect our beliefs and our religion. And so we find solace in promoting the white man or the foreign tradition and belief system. Now you can come online and you will see a photograph of a Nigerian youths in church singing and dancing and shouting, Holy Ghost fire, fire, fire. And by the other side, you will see the image of Chinese young girls and young boys doing technology, building mobile phones and cars and the rest stuff. And you see a caption like, African, we are killing devil. Chinese, they are building technology. You know, when I see things like that, it baffles me to understand how the level of ignorance in Africa is increasing. I used to be part of those who always condemn the idea of spirituality. I did entrepreneurship in emerging economies. Africa was one of the case study. Chinese was one of the case study, and all other parts of Europe. And I did that in Harvard University. While in that course, you could see that when African case study, they use Nigeria, South Africa, and some other parts of Africa, there was nothing like religion. But when they migrated to India and China as a case study about emerging entrepreneurship in emerging economies, you find out that there were factors affecting entrepreneurship that has to do with religion and belief system. I don't get what I'm saying now, but Africa was not mentioned. What it means is that the most less religious continent in the world is actually Africa. But because we don't know how to conceal what we have, we always show out everything we have. It now looks as if everything about African continent is tradition and religion. But when you go to the streets of Lagos, you hardly see temples. When you go to the streets of Abuja, you hardly see temples. But when you go to China, you see different temples. You see people go to China, to Australia, there are different places. Even in Europe, there are places, there are temples that people go to. But here in Africa, you hardly see one. So when has Africa become a continent that is so religious and so spiritual? And then I did comparative religion at the University of British Columbia, UBC, when I was in comparison with Itoism, Zoroastrianism, Christianity, Islam, and I realized something, that the Chinese people, they don't play with their spirituality. The fact that majority of their spirituality is Confucius and Buddhism, and it's all about the mind, the concept of calmness, of serenity, of peace and love and trust, it doesn't mean that African spirituality are devoid of those same concepts. Our spirituality is different. But look at it. The Chinese man, the Chinese rich entrepreneur, will never sacrifice his time of worship. The time to, in fact, even in Nigeria here, I've been to offices of people that are Chinese, that in their offices you will see the image of Buddha behind them. You see writings of Confucius behind them. But when you come to my office, are you seeing the head of a lion or cowries displayed in my office? No, you don't see that in the offices of Tedola. You don't even see the image of Jesus Christ in their office. So what makes you ever think that African is a religious country, or African is a religious continent? It is not. So please stop mocking people like me that come online to teach you guys the depths and the pure spirituality of African tradition as being, I don't have time. No. I studied biochemistry at the BSc level. I further to do cell biology at University of Queensland, Australia. And I did my comparative religious studies at UBC. I went further to do entrepreneurship in emerging economies, though that one was on EDS by Harvard. I came out amazing. I did business entrepreneurship analysis. I came out burst. I'm a web developer, an innovationist. Should I use the word innovationist? Is that actually a word? I'm a graphics designer. I'm a web developer. There is nothing you want to talk. There is no topic on earth I cannot comfortably discuss with you. From anthropology to religion to science to physics to chemistry to metaphysics to quantum physics to quantum chemistry, everything down to religion. I'm game for it. I don't study for them. I don't need to study for them. But the fact that I'm a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, does it devoid of my abilities or my knowledge in these areas? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So let's stop laughing at African spirituality and tradition and let's embrace it. We can still pursue technology and still be spiritually aware of ourselves. We say in Africa, witch does not exist. We are always pursuing witch instead of to pursue technology. Who told you there were no witches in America or Europe? Who told you they didn't fight those? They did. Who told you the white? I established a new religion called the Watered, and I can tell you countless white people have come across, Africans that are not in Nigerian diaspora that have come across, different white. Go to TB Joshua Church, you see whites there. So who is it African witch that is troubling them? That because you are opportune to sleep with one or two men, then they give you money and you call yourself a celebrity girl or a celebrity man because you stay in Lekki and you stay in Wuse 2 or you stay in GRA, Port Harcourt, anywhere, or you stay in Okpanam Road at Sabah. You think you are now more better than others. I was in Delta State and I've seen a case of a man who is rich and well endowed with money. It took him only 1 week. He became poor that he came to meet my boss to borrow money to pay these children's school fees. I've been in Lagos here and I see someone who was balling in money when I came to Lagos. Today he's asking me, please, if you can send me 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira. I want to feed my children. I came to Lagos and I met people. You tell me, oh, they are not. Who told you? I'm talking about someone of a high repute when it comes to entrepreneurship. Down. Why should your ship be the one that sinks in the sea and other people came? Have you not come across people that are intelligent and there's nothing to show for it? So please embrace spirituality and everything will be fine.